Welcome to Fishtail Mag Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to all things artistic swimming. I'm your host, Liz Corman, and I'm here today with five-time Olympic gold medalist Svetlana Romashina. On paper, Svetlana is easily one of the greatest artistic swimmers that has ever lived. But in person, one can still find themselves in awe of her deceptively casual greatness in the water. When someone reaches the status as a giant in their sport, it can be easy to oversimplify their journey to success. Conversely, it can be just as easy to deify athletes that reach the top of their field. But as the idiom would suggest, Svetlana puts on her pants one leg at a time, just like the rest of us. In fact, she is far more down to earth than one would expect for an athlete with such prestige. I sat down with Svetlana to dig into her life in and out of the water. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey when you were a kid, and when did you find the joy in synchro as a child?
I came to synchro when I was 6 years old, and at that moment I was also dancing. I was very tired when after school I was going to the swimming pool, and after swimming pool I was dancing. That's why when I was 10 years old that I've been in hospital because I had some problems with my stomach, because it was very difficult to eat in the car. And of course, for a little baby, it was a problem because I was very tired. After 1 month of lying in the hospital, I decided to make a choice to be in synchro or to dance. At that moment, I thought that synchronized swimming is very nice, where I can swim alone, just alone. I didn't know anything about duet, team, and I didn't like my partner in dancing. That's why I decided to choose synchro. But now, when I'm grown up, when I'm a person, I understand that it wasn't my choice. I think it was a choice of my parents because
I see.
Yes, because I think that they saw that dancing was not very interesting for me. They saw my interest in synchro. They saw that I had some results in synchro, but my first medal was silver. The second also was silver. After that moment, I told myself that no, stop silver medals. I want to have gold.
And so you did. Were your parents always that insightful on your behalf? That's huge. Because I'm sure, looking at how you are in artistic swimming, you must have been an excellent dancer as well.
You know, I can say that my mother can be a judge in synchro, really, because she was on every competitions. When it was opportunity to see my practice, she was sitting in the swimming pool and watching at me, and she really can be a judge in synchro.
Was it helpful, or do you think that it was a difficult thing to have a mother that had such a sharp eye for the sport?
I liked it.
Good.
Because she was always with me. She was supporting me. And now I understand, now when I am a mother, I understand that I want to be such mother for my daughter. I want to be always near, but not inside. Not inside.
Right.
Only near, just to help to make the right choice, to choose the right way. But sometimes it was not very comfortable for me because when it was some competitions, I came home and my mother could tell me, oh, you know, your barracuda was not very good today. You could do it better. And I could cry because my coach told me that, yes, it was good, normal, we need to work more. But my mother always told me the truth. No. Barracuda was bad. And sometimes, yes, I was really crying. But now, of course, I understand that maybe in this moment she was right.
She was at the very least very honest.
Yeah.
So when you made your first national team, what did your mother say then?
When I came to national team, I was 15 years old. It was 2005, my first world championship in Montreal. I just remember that she was thinking about my brains because I had 2 more years to be at school.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go to school because of synchro.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very difficult for her to make synchro and school together.
There's always that struggle for elite athletes to find a balance between their education and their sport. And I don't know that anybody has really found the right answer. So it's always interesting to hear how people handle it.
Every Sunday, every Saturday, I always had teachers at home and I was sitting the whole day with them. I just remember that year that it was very hard. It was very hard for me in synchro at school, and in synchro it was very difficult because I was the youngest. And I couldn't understand our coach, Tatiana Pokrovskaya, because she's a very creative person. And sometimes she speaks on her language, not on our language.
Right.
Yes. And you need to think, oh, what she's saying now. Oh, I don't know. And at that moment, another girls, Olympic champions, helped me to be in team, to understand her.
I'm sure Tatiana has quite the extensive language at this point.
I remember that moment. Yes. She told us, you need to make a flower. I was looking at her with such eyes, big eyes, and she was shouting, Ramashina, what I saying? You need to do a flower. And I couldn't understand what flower, what I need to do. And after that,
obviously you figured out what the flower was because you've been a staple of that squad. So 2005, you make your first national team.
Yeah.
And in 2008, you made your Olympic debut in Beijing.
Yes.
When you went to your first Olympics, what were some of the emotions that you felt going into the water cube the first time, being with your team? What kind of memories do you still have from that first experience?
I have some strange memories because I was 18 years old and I had a person in swimming whom I loved like a god. It was Peter van den Hoogenbaan from Holland, from Netherlands. And I just wanted at first for my Olympics to watch him, to see him, because he was my idol. And when I saw him, I told my teammates that everything will be fine. No problem. It will be good. And of course they were laughing.
I love that.
Yes, they were laughing as you, but they understand that.
It's true though. It's a good omen. I feel the same way when I come on deck and I see my heroes right away. I feel like, yes, everything is going to be fine.
Yes, they told me that I need this power to feel these emotions, to be more strong for competitions. And I remember that these competitions in Beijing, I was a little bit in stress because when you come to Olympics and you see the Olympic rings everywhere, and you understand that it is your dream to be on Olympics at first.
Yeah, it's your dream in reality, and that time
yes, and
goes by so fast.
But it was such a big stress for me. And I remember that usually on Olympics you have problems with buses because you need to transfer to swimming pool and from the village. And for me, it was it was a very big problem to be with teammates, not to be late on a bus to go to the swimming pool because...
Classic 18-year-old, right?
Yes, because everyone will kill me if I will be late or something else. And for me, it was a very interesting moment, the Olympic Village, when I saw so many Coca-Cola, Powerade, so many food. I was in shock, really, because I never saw this. But of course, my teammates also told me, no Coca-Cola during the competitions, only after.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's so funny, though. Were your parents able to come and watch you at the Olympics?
No, I prefer when my parents are staying at home watching me on TV, because when I see them, I have more stress. That's why I prefer when they're sitting at home drinking beer.
I've heard of many Olympians that have that same stance. Either they like to have a clear view of their parents or they don't want it at all. So 2012, you became that older teammate for some of your younger ones to help them out, and you took on that additional responsibility of the duet. For your duet, what was it like with that particular Olympic cycle and developing choreography with Natalia?
At first I can say that when we become a first duet in Russia after Davidova and Yermakova, we understood that we need something new because we need something different from to Anastasia, not to be the same, because it will not be very interesting for judges, for synchro world. We were thinking for a long time what program we will do on Olympics, and we've done these program dolls already on the World Championship in Shanghai. And after that, we decided that we need to repeat it because everyone liked it. We decided only to change tech program.
Wonderful Michael Jackson
piece.
Yes,
we've done Michael
It's
Jackson.
like one of my favorite tech routines of all time.
It was like really something unusual for me on the water. It was ballet, it was dancing, it was all kinds of choreography that we could try to do. It was a very interesting process of creating these programs. This music find Natasha. She decided that we can do like dolls, like marionettes.
Absolutely. Like little marionettes, the puppets.
Yes.
Correct.
At first, yes, we had done this, but then we decided to call it dolls. That this program was the most interesting from Russian programs. I will say this. I always try to be not a queen in synchron. I usually prefer to look around what other countries are doing. And we were very afraid of Spain at that moment, really, because I can say that their program is the second, my favorite program in duet that they've done, tango, when Ona and Andrea did it.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. 2012 was a really fun Olympic cycle for choreography.
Yes, and I think maybe it's not true. I don't know. But for me, it's the most two interest programs in duet that I saw before. Maybe, of course.
I agree with you. I think that those are routines that I come back to. I revisit them every year since then. So there has to be something to it.
Yes. And I understand that if we will show dolls and tango on 2020 in Tokyo, they will be also perfect. And we will not say that these programs were the past. No, I think that it's something like could be very popular in future also.
Yes, that's a really astute point. They're just something that will classically always be.
Yes.
With all of that choreography, you guys seem to be able to jump between styles. You had that jungle routine and the dolls and the Michael Jackson. Your quality of movement is able to change and match whatever you're attempting to do. And in 2016, that is the ultimate mermaid routine. It could be cheesy or corny, except it isn't. It's gorgeous. I'm wondering, that's your third Olympics, third time getting your gold medals. How did that experience, especially as it relates to Natalia, how did that experience feel to you?
I miss Natalia every day. Maybe I can't say because of my new partner, Svetlana, but of course I spend more time with Natalia, more time,
yes.
many years, and we were living together for many years, and she's like my sister. She's like my twin. Sometimes I couldn't understand why she's not near me, why I'm alone or with something another. I don't know how to explain it, these feelings, but when we were in Rio, I understood that Natalia will finish and it would be our last Olympic Games together. But this year in September, I asked her, maybe she will come back for 1 year.
What did she say?
She said, no, thanks.
I mean, obviously, that's...
She could return, yes, because I know she could be in a good shape, in a good form, and I know it. But
yes,
She's very tired and she doesn't miss seeing her now because she has her job, her family, and she has another life, not seeing her life.
Yes.
That's why. But I was, of course, sure that she will not say no, but I need to try.
Yes, my mother always tells me if you don't ask, you don't get. So it's always worth trying.
It's better to try than not to try.
Natalia, you actually followed in her footsteps a little bit with having a kid and taking a break and then coming back and meddling. Well, you're about to, knock on wood. Sorry, I don't want to give you any bad luck. But did Natalia have any words of advice for you when you decided to take a break and return afterwards?
Natalia is such a person who would never give advice if you will not ask her. That's why I told her that I would have a little rest. I would like to give a birth. And when I decided to come back, of course, I asked her everything that I could. When my baby was born, I was calling her to ask what to do, how to do. And how to get in a good shape again, because as I think I was very fat and
I mean, that's how it works. That's how
and
the body works.
when I was pregnant, I was standing on my waist and I was crying because I couldn't believe that my waist can be near some kilos. I couldn't believe. My head was in stress. And of course, I wanted to be in shape faster, but I didn't try to do many exercises really because I was feeding my baby. I think that's why I get in a shape very fast. And I was calling her and asking what to do, how to return. And she helped me with advices, where to live, what to do. Because our sport base is near Moscow, and now we are living in the house which we rent because I want to be with my family and with my team, of course, on practice. We live near 10 minutes.
That's nice.
Yes, and Natalia, I've done it before. That's why I understood that I need to do the same. And that's why it was more easier for me to return because I always could
like work together.
Yes, to follow her. And I think it helped me.
I would love to know what advice you might have for athletes that might want to take a break to start a family and then return. Because I think as time goes on, you and Natalia and, Christina Lum, there's been cases where there's been successful returns back to the pool. It's a really cool thing to see this shift in sport.
I just can say that you need to choose it by your heart. To return or no. I think that your head and your heart will just say it. No one can help you. Never. You need just to listen to yourself. In our team, there is Alexandra Patskevich. She's my best friend and she already gave birth and she has a son. He is already 1 year old. And when she was pregnant, I already told her, you need to return.
Did she say yes or what?
No, at first she told me, you are crazy. No, never. No, you are crazy. But now she's swimming. She had, of course, a little time to return. That's why it's more difficult for her. But I see that she's in a good shape. She can do it. And of course, I wanted to go on Olympics with her because she's my teammate for many years. She's my best friend for many years. And of course, we are very friendly.
That's also really nice to have another mother on the team with you right now to share that experience.
It's very bad to say, but it's true. I understood that if there is some person who will be such difficult as me, for me, it will be better that there is someone more who is very tired. Because after practice, we come home and we have a child and we need to work. We have no time to rest. And that's why I told her, no, you need to swim. We need to be together. Yes. I can't be alone.
Well, I certainly am appreciating it. The postponement of the games, what does that mean for the two of you guys, since you do have kids that are getting older and older, and the decision to come back?
Now is the most difficult question for me because I don't know really what to do, because it's the most difficult situation in my life. I had another plans after Olympic Games. I want to have the second baby. And I will tell the truth. At the first day when we saw the news about Olympics, I couldn't believe. I just was sitting on my bed and doing nothing. The next 2 or 3 days, I was crying because all my plans was like a dream. After that, maybe after 1 week, I understood that it's true. It's not a dream. It's true. And I just need to understand. I understand it because every girls in a team always say, oh, no, don't worry, 1 year. Yes, of course, it will be very difficult, but let's go. Come on. Me and Sasha, we really don't know what to do now because, of course, now we are training, of course, but I'm not sure how to 100%, yes, that Olympics would be because of this coronavirus. Maybe it will be again. We don't know the position of WADA, of CAS about Russian athletes, and we really don't know what to do. To swim or not, will we go on Olympics or not? And now, for me, it's a very good moment maybe to sit at home and just to think.
Yes, I'm feeling very much the same way. I can't imagine for the two of you how complex of a situation this must be, and very, very emotional.
It's a very emotional situation, and it's a very difficult situation for us in another moments. It's because of rent a house, it's paying for babysitter, and we have another problems. I'm not 18 years old, and every year it become more difficult to swim. Of course, because I need more power, of course, and I understand it.
You've consistently gotten better and better, and as life works, you've also gotten older and older, which makes it all the more impressive. You forget as you get into your 30s that, oh yeah, my body is not 20 anymore.
Yes, because you can feel by your head that you are 20, but your body will say the truth. And
Yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
Yes, I need more time for my stretching because every year my legs become more like a wood. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
And of course,
I used to be able to do the splits like for years after I retired, and now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they're not there anymore. Where did you go?
Yes. What is it? What is it? Yes, and
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a good time to think about it. I think maybe I will have time. Of course, I will train, I will practice this time, but I need to think, will I swim for 1 more year or not?
That is the question. As you said before, the only person that can answer that question is you. And it has to come from your heart.
Yes.
And from your mind. And you are the best advice for yourself right now. So I wish you the best of luck in that decision-making process.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Svetlana Romashina for taking the time to speak with me today. And thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers for making this and all Fishtail Mag content possible. Follow us under the handle Fishtail Mag for both Facebook and Instagram, and for even more original content, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fishtailmag. We do hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoyed making it. Stay safe out there, and until next time, this is Liz Corman with Fishtail Mag, where we are dedicated to all things artistic swimming.